Hello, welcome. My name is San. This is a reading today for Virgo. There are no dates on my readings. I trust that when they find you, if they resonate, then they're yours at that time. Virgo, I'm doing your reading with a blend of decks. So you'll see a mix of several decks in your spread today. So we've got the Two of Cups on the split. That's a surprising energy. I feel like that's a hopeful energy and it may belong to you. It could be part of the matter that is at hand here for you because you have a Queen of Swords featuring very dominantly in your reading. She seems to be kind of taking over your mindscape at the current moment, as if you're waiting for something from her before you can proceed. And it could be this Two of Cups that you're wanting to proceed towards, or you're wanting things with the Queen of Swords to smooth out and be more of a Two of Cups energy, because it's not feeling that way right now. It almost feels like somebody's giving somebody the silent treatment, or communication has broken down, is how it feels to me. With the Seven of Discs underneath that, it's like there's a project that you're working on that's being held up because of her influence. Okay, and then at the bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is putting you in kind of a backhanded position. Is that the right way to say that? It's like having to step back. I'm almost seeing that hoverboard is kind of slowly, gently receding backwards, almost like you want to take back something that you said. And again, there's the Work card. So I feel like this is related more to your work than anything Cups related. But at the same time, the Two of Cups came up for a reason. I feel like maybe that has to do with, there is an energy here that is coming in a little bit later that could be related to the Two of Cups. We'll find out when we get there, but it feels like somehow this Queen of Swords is holding up something in regards to a Two of Cups for you. Maybe the work, maybe you're taking a step back from your work in order to do something. It's like you're experiencing something that you've never experienced before, and it has to do with this Queen of Swords, as if she's in command of or holding up a process that you're in the midst of. So everything is kind of on standby until you hear back from her, is a bit how it's feeling to me. It's like I said, all communication is broken down. Everybody's turning away from each other. Or it's like everything that needed to be said was already said, or you're waiting for her to say that. It's like you've said everything that you need to say, and now you're waiting for her to respond. Okay, I'm going to pull an overall energy from the Dream Decoder. This is going to be the last chance for the Dream Decoder to redeem itself before it gets retired permanently. Okay, so castle, ancient buildings, and tombs. Oh, and then the unfamiliar secret or unused room. So perhaps you're having to go to this Queen of Swords. It almost feels like, is it backhanded? Is that what I said? Taking a step back, or so doing something backhanded? It's like the communication isn't lining up properly. And it has to do with something that you are wanting to proceed with. You're waiting on it. The reason why I'm saying that is because the Three of Wands is the beginning of your reading, and it's like you're waiting for the adventure to begin, but everything is at a standstill. And the reason why I say that, I mean, there could be three energies here, but I'm seeing the two of you very dominantly. You coming up as the Queen of Discs here, very strong in your earth energy, which I feel is a great asset to you at this point in time, because it's bringing in a lot of patience, which you may be running out of. And she's coming up the Queen of Swords, but it's got this Ace of Swords in the middle, which is kind of like everybody's gone silent. In fact, you've turned away from her and nobody's speaking. Everybody's eyes are closed and people are beginning to turn away because of this, perhaps because of the World card, which is the completion energy. This card from the Journey of Oz and Wonderland deck is talking about stepping through a threshold point into a new reality, actually. Maybe you're going to be by-stepping her. Maybe that's what I'm getting with this Page of Cups. It's like going in reverse in order to be able to go around this Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a surprising energy. It came up for me very dominantly last year as somebody who wants to command a situation that may not be theirs to command. But they come in very powerfully with that sword. And she is surrounded by 2 Ace of Swords. Well, there's 2 Ace of Swords in the reading, so there is a lot of truth here on the table. But is it coming from her? Which one belongs to her? I feel like this is hers, which is actually kind of coming through today as closed-mindedness, with her eyes closed, and the conversation is closed. Nothing is proceeding with her. In fact, the Hierophant is coming out right after her, and I feel like this is you perhaps going to a higher source, a higher influence in order to get what it is that you need out of this situation, because the Queen of Swords is not budging. It's pretty much like she's saying something like, business hours are over, you have to wait for the long weekend before you hear back from me. But you're proceeding on to the world in the Hierophant nonetheless, because the Hierophant does have this Ace of Swords, which is a much more dominant one. So it's like their truth trumps the truth of the information or the authority of the Queen of Swords. I mean, the Hierophant is a major arcana, and the Queen of Swords is a court card that can be overshadowed by the Hierophant. The Hierophant is feeling like a counselor or a guide that you are seeking because you're being turned away. So somehow this Queen of Swords is holding power over you. It could even be something more familiar like sisters, or maybe that's why the Two of Cups is here, because something has gone awry in that situation, which is usually a Two of Cups. It's reminding me a little bit of what's going on with me and some of my family members at the moment, where we're just not seeing eye to eye on some things that we maybe have always been on agreement on in the past. And so everything is just kind of on hold. It's not that it's on hold. It's like all the plans that we would usually proceed with, especially at this time of year, are kind of being circumvented. That's what this Page of Cups is talking about. It's talking about a circumnavigation or circumvention in order to get to bypass. You're asking to be able to bypass with the Strength card underneath that. And the Page of Swords. It's something like the information that you hold is not standing up to her and her authority for some reason. It's interesting because I'm seeing you as very equal. I just heard the word allies. So generally you would be allies. It very much could be sisters, or a familial relationship that is just going through an uncomfortable transition, perhaps because you're proceeding through this world threshold point. It's not a fear threshold, actually, which is really interesting, because it could be. It feels more like anticlimactic than that, meaning a fear threshold often comes with a tower or a minor tower energy where you're leveling up, you're going through a major... Well, you do have the Death card on the table, so maybe this is talking about something bigger than I'm perceiving. It's just got this really even-keeled energy about it. Coming from the Queen of Swords, she's dominating the energy of this reading by keeping the energy from moving. So it could be the reason why you're seeking out the counsel of the Hierophant with that Ace of Swords. They have the ultimate truth. It's like they're not getting back to you. So you're tired of waiting. With that Three of Wands at the Chess Valley, it's kind of like the time is up on this chess game and she hasn't made her move yet. So what do? You just stand. It's not at a stalemate because there are moves that can be made, but she's not making one. So you're kind of stuck in this position waiting for her. It definitely feels like this, I'm on vacation, or this is a long weekend and you have to wait for me to respond before you can proceed. But it feels like you're proceeding anyway, maybe because this Hierophant is coming out as this Hierophant in a moment. I feel like perhaps you're seeing the Hierophant in off hours, or you have some connection with them. I keep hearing the word back, like backhanded, background, backstep, not backwards. But I keep wanting to, it's like there's a recession or a stepping back of the energy in order to be able to proceed, but you have to go the long way around. It could be that you have to wait out this vacation time, or you have to wait out this long weekend before you can proceed. But it feels like you're not standing idle. You're seeking out counsel with this Hierophant because you have a connection with them. The reason why I say that is because they're coming out really friendly, where they're very regal and official. But when you go to see them, perhaps you're bringing them your information. Okay, it's something like this. It's like you've brought something to this Queen of Swords that has just put her in this shutdown mode. Maybe it's talking something about like the shutdown in the States. We're not experiencing that here in Canada, so it's not affecting us in that way, but it's got all this shutdown and backwards energy to it, as if everything is being held up because of that Queen of Swords. It's like she is like a bureaucrat of some sort. And she holds some power in her hand that is rightfully hers. But with the Hierophant coming out twice, I feel like even though it's rightfully in her hands, it's like it's sent to the right office, for example, or you're dealing with the right person. You've got the right person, but they're on vacation, or maybe they're backed up. Maybe their office is backed up, and it's the reason you're not hearing back from them. It doesn't mean that you won't, but I feel like playing the card of going to the Hierophant is definitely a good idea for you. But what's interesting is this Temperance card. The Temperance card, it says Temperance on it, but I see it as somebody who's a watcher energy. And I feel like what's not being said here is that the Hierophant may already be aware of what's going on. I'm seeing suddenly there's these two figures in the background, and I feel like that's you and the Queen of Swords being separated by the Hierophant, as if maybe the Hierophant is coming to you saying, just so you know, Virgo, the Queen of Swords is not going to get back to you because she's on back order, or your request is on back order. So something is holding this up, and the Hierophant is either stepping in or you're stepping into the Hierophant space. That's what this is looking like. And it says the unused room. It's like this is a place that you wouldn't normally usually go to. Usually I talk about the unused room as like when you, in a dream, you find a space in your home that you didn't know existed before, and it opens up all these possibilities, which is interesting because the world is here. This world opens up a lot of possibilities because it's stepping into another realm. It's stepping through a threshold point just like this. So it's like you're going to visit the Hierophant on the weekend. And the only reason that you can do that is because you have a friendship or a kinship with them of some sort. Maybe that's the familial bond that I'm picking up, because the Queen of Swords feels very much bureaucratic and very kind of office or government, which is interesting because this one should feel that way, the Hierophant. But I also feel like because the Hierophant has come out twice and the Queen of Pentacles has actually come out twice, this Queen of Pentacles comes from the Oz deck, and it's quite an interesting image. This woman is not an attractive woman, but she's this caregiver. I don't feel like it's your energy. It feels like what's being revealed is the fact that because the Watcher Temperance energy is here, it's like the Hierophant is already familiar with this situation before you even cross the threshold into their domain. It's like they've had their eye on it for a time. I'm seeing the numbers up at the top of the portal here as being like a timer counting down. It's like they've been watching the situation and counting down the days, or counting the calendar, crossing the calendar days off, realizing that you've gotten yourself in a situation that is a bit of a jam. And it's as if they're welcoming you with open arms, and they have something for you, or you have something that is actually because it's another Pentacles energy, because it feels like there's all this earth. There's the Queen of Pentacles twice, and you've got the Hierophant here twice. So you've got all of this earth energy on your side, but it doesn't feel that way to you. It feels as if because you're not seeing it with the Two of Swords, because you're just not seeing it. And it's this really foggy situation. Somebody sent me an image of a sky gone purple I think it was in California. maybe that's where you're located, perhaps, but it's this foggy bog that is not allowing the perception to be seen, but at the same time, it's the same color as the pentacle. Like the coloring compared to the rest of, if you can see the rest of the table, if you look at the thumbnail, but it's her coloring. It's her coloring. She's got that kind of lavender or purples and blues, and it's all her coloring, and she's presiding over that. So she's holding up your pentacle. This is the reason maybe why it's staying in this ace position instead of progressing on. You did have all that pentacles that came out, the 7 and the 8 of pentacles, which came out when I first opened the deck up. Talking about your work is being held back, but at the same time, I'm seeing this Wheel of Fortune coming up right underneath all of the work. So perhaps your work proceeds through the weekend. That's the thing. It's like this government shutdown or this pause in the bureaucracy. You're expected to wait for her response, but it's not coming. It's like she's still calculating. She's still running the algorithm somehow. Just because I'm seeing all of these formulas and the mind is just spinning and spinning and spinning, and the mouth is closed and the eyes are closed. Everything is closed. Everything is shut down. But it feels like you're not shut down. You're going to, maybe that's why this 10 of Wands is coming up next. It's like you're taking the burden of this work situation right through the long weekend or right through the shutdown. And then the Death card is coming up next. The Death card with the 4 of Cups. Tips discovery. It feels like there's a big change on the horizon because of this Death card, because the Death card is coming out below the World and the Hierophant. So it feels like if you are kind of sneaking in the back door of a government official's office on the weekend because you know them, this is the reason why the 2 of Cups came out. Maybe that's why the 2 of Cups came out, and this Page of Pentacles, like I said, it's like that hoverboard is backing up and going a different route. It's like you're going around the back door of the Capitol building, for example, and sneaking in another way, or just knocking on a door that is being opened to you. So when the door opens to you, it's being opened to this regal Hierophant, but it's very quickly transforming into this one here, which is a much more relaxed situation. And then the Queen of Pentacles. So the fact that the Queen of Pentacles is coming through as a not very attractive figure, I feel like it's saying that it's not about pulling those kinds of favors. It's not like a 2 of Cups situation. It's not like a backhanded negotiation. It's kind of this, you have a history with somebody. It's kind of like having a friend who works in the government, and you know they're all there working through the weekend, even though they're not answering the phones or responding to correspondence until Monday morning. But it's like going in the back door, going in the backstage area of the situation because you have this in with the Hierophant. It's like the castle door is opening. So it's something like this. I almost feel like a decision has already been made because the Death card is here on the table, but you're not seeing it yet, with the 4 of Cups being the end of the reading. It's like you're not quite seeing the change yet because you're sitting here at the beginning at the 3 of Wands waiting for the situation to open up for you. But you have the World card here. It's kind of like a decision has already been made. It's just not being communicated to you at this moment. Not yet. But you have so much of the cards and the energy in your favor with it being so heavily earth energy and not, I mean, there are the 2 Ace of Swords, but that's the thing. I feel like the truth is the gateway to this progress for you. That's I can't show it to you in the way that I want to because, well, it is kind of coming up as computer code or something. It's almost like the algorithm will not allow the response in the timing that you are desiring it. The reason why I'm saying that is just because I want to see 2 swords, kind of like this, with the wand of the Hierophant, 2 swords that create a gateway for, and it's interesting how the mouth is peeking out there, a gateway for communication or a way for a portal for this to open. But you do have this portal here very powerfully. in your reading about stepping through the threshold. So it's kind of like you're not waiting for the weekend or the clock to, or the calendar to tick by. You're not waiting for this Queen of Swords. You have work to do, and you're doing it through the shutdown. Knowing or expecting or hoping that when things open back up again, that the decision is already made and it's made in your favor. And I want to say that it is, and you may be getting a little bit of either advice or counsel or a sneak peek from this Hierophant friend of yours. If they are able, you know what it is? It's like they're not saying, it feels like they're not saying, because they're just laughing. So they're not answering your specific question. For example, if you're like, what's the answer? What's the verdict? What's the final decision here? What's the ultimate truth? They're not answering that question directly, but they're in such an uplifting mood that that's a good sign for you that it's going to go in your favor. Okay. That's how I feel like I should leave it. And I'm going to continue to pull cards, create an extended, and see what else wants to come out about this. But Virgo, it's feeling like you actually have the upper hand, even if you've been shut out of a situation because of just it feels like it's just a calendar. It's like you bumped up against a weekend, and that's all that's really at play here. I know it's probably bigger than that for you. If we're talking about the government shutdown, I know that could really throw a wrench in a lot of people's plans, but it's like, but you've been working through the night or working through the shutdown anyway. So even though it's feeling like everything is delayed, it feels like once things open back up again, you're going to be like this chariot bursting forth with a lot of energy that you have been, it's like you've been revving your engine. So the second the gate opens, you're going to just shoot forth. Okay. So if you're interested in the extended, the link is in the description box. And if not, I will see you next time, Virgo. Thanks. Bye.